what ended up happening?
Yeah, I don't know. So technology is great,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Good
Oh
luck.
yeah. I totally feel you. I'm like, oh, technology, me, we have a love-hate relationship. Like sometimes it works, and then other times there's days, and it's always the days where I have like back-to-back like meetings or calls where it's just like, no, like my audio will cut off and like no one can hear me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, it's great when it works, but if it doesn't, then you have to deal with it. All right,
Yeah.
sorry guys, sorry we were late. I was having some technical difficulties. So I'm so excited for our first ever coffee chat, and I want to introduce Amanda. And I'm sorry, Keona wasn't able to hop in and join us today, but we have fabulous Amanda. So I'll get you to start, Amanda, by just start telling us about yourself and what inspired you to create the Pink Door Society.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here, and thank you so much, Risen, for just like inviting me for the first ever like coffee chat session. I'm super, super excited and grateful to be here. And I really look up and admire all the incredible work that you're doing for new moms. So really had to like echo that and say a big thank you. But yeah, hi everyone. My name is Amanda. Unfortunately, my co-founder Keona couldn't join us today, but she's sends all of her love and well wishes, and she's with us in spirit. But we are the founders of Pink Door Society. And Pink Star Society is an upcoming organization that seeks to empower women's mental health through art and community. So right now we're actually on I like to believe, a very cool and amazing mission to spread radical kindness throughout the GTA to really help foster connection and combat isolation. So we really believe that together we can create a world where mental health is prioritized, and sisterhood is valued, and women can find great strength in unity. So, really excited to hop on here and share that mission. And a little bit about what inspired Pink Door Society was actually my own lived experience with mental health. I was diagnosed early on with a anxiety disorder, as well as dealt with severe depression back when I was in high school. So far to the point that it actually made me not, go to prom, and I missed out on graduation, which were like these really big milestones because of my mental health and because of the illness that I was facing. And I became so isolated because of my depression to the point that I actually um, became homebound, and I actually developed a fear of like leaving my house, and I felt always very alienated from society, and I was like, what's wrong with me? Am I the only one that's feeling this? Like, what's going on? And things are very dark. And I ended up being homeschooled by my grandparents, who were incredible, like my support system. And I remember, despite things again feeling super dark at that time, I would be dropped off in the mornings at my grandparents' house to be homeschooled. And my grandparents were from Portugal, so we come from like, European background, and they were the only house on their street that actually had this beautiful pink door as their front door. And
Uh,
I remember, despite things, feeling really heavy, really dark, feeling very alone at that time, I was like, every single time I saw that pink door in the morning, I'm like, I'm about to enter a place where I feel seen, heard, loved, included. And that's really what I want, and what Keona wants every woman to feel walking through the doors of Pink Door Society. So that's a little bit about our background story and how we started.
Amazing. When did you guys found the Pink Door Society?
Yeah, so it's been, so I guess a little bit, yeah, touching on that. So I really began to start it in November of 2023. So just like last year. And I remember it was getting pretty good like recognition at the time. I'm part of Monday Girl, which is an incredible platform that seeks to connect like professional women together. So that has been a really great just platform to be a part of. And I remember I started posting about Pink Door Society back in November. However, there was a lot of work that was getting done. I was going to attend like my first ever event that I got invited to be a part of, Good to Be Good, which is another incredible
Yes, I
woman.
actually
Yeah.
saw that. Yes,
Oh
yes.
my gosh. Yeah.
Congrats on
They,
that. Yeah.
Thank you. And they had an International Women's Day event. It was, things were going good. However, my grandfather actually ended up passing away in March of earlier of this year. And it was really hard because, as mentioned, just the story shared that my grandparents are pretty much the reasoning as to why Pink Door Society started, and even the name behind it. It's not just because I like pink. We like pink, even though pink is an
I
amazing
do too.
color. Yeah,
Easy.
right? How can you not? But yeah, so it was really hard, and just dealing with the grieving process. And every single time I try to work on Pink Door Society again, I couldn't. I'd have to shut down my laptop, and I'd end up in a puddle like just of tears. And I gave up on it actually. Like it wasn't even going to be a thing anymore. And then until Keona, my incredible co-founder, messaged me off of the Monday Girl platform and said, "Hey, I found Pink Door Society in like one of the nonprofit channels. Like, I really love the work that you're doing. How can I get involved?" And I remember saying, like, "Thank you so much. Like, that's really sweet, but I've actually decided to, I don't have the strength or the capacity or the courage to continue on since my grandfather's passing." And she
Mhm.
says, "I'm here for you. Like, if you need a shoulder to cry on, I have a shoulder to cry on. Like,
I'm
I
getting
believe in
goosebumps just
you."
keep talking about this.
Me
Literally
too.
goosebumps.
Oh my goodness. And so just her, and you know what? I was like, I believe in myself because just one person believes in me, and she was that person. And that's what really, again, is the mission behind Pink Door Society, how we can really help. We're stronger together, right, than
Yes.
alone. And just this again, overall, just theme that's so close to my heart of sisterhood and just the importance of that, and empowering each other to reach our full potential in life. So I feel so, again, so grateful that that our paths crossed. And it's funny because she was actually in the process of starting her on before she ever met me, of her own charity, called Butterfly Society, with like almost the same mission. So it's like funny how, like, just what a small world. It's just
Yes.
absolutely crazy.
Amazing, amazing story. So actually, Soraya, I'm not sure if you see this is again like my first coffee chat. So I'm not sure if you see like the comments, but
No,
Soraya
I can't.
said that what a beautiful connection and legacy to your grandparents have inspired in you. Bless your heart. So
Oh.
and like Roxy says, heartwarming. So yeah, we've got some people watching, and I told you that that I put it on my socials, and quite a few people have reached out and said like even actually in another group they said that she's a therapist, and
Mm,
she said she's interested in like coming in, but I don't believe I see her, but she's probably gonna watch it later. But she
yeah.
believes in like the healing through art. So
Yes.
that's her thing. So community seems to be such a big key element of Pink Door Society. Can you talk about how like how you build and nurture this community with Keona, obviously?
Yeah, of course. Oh my goodness. Yes, I love that. I think honestly, like at the end of the day, and I come from like a marketing background, and what really led me to this pathway in my career was the importance of just like storytelling. At a young age, like stories had always fascinated me. And life is so incredibly precious and so short, but we have our own unique stories to share, at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's how we connect as human beings. It's through sharing our stories. And when we feel, empowered, and sometimes we take that act of courage and we share our stories and we be vulnerable, we can inspire other people, to also come forward and feel empowered to share theirs. So Pink Door Society really hopes to create these safe spaces where women can come together to express themselves in a creative way, A, but B, also share their stories and connect. So we can be in these rooms, full of, just women that go, "Oh, like I see you, I hear you, I've been through the same thing. Like I don't feel alone in this walk. Like I definitely relate to you." So that's one aspect on how we are building
And
community.
that's how I feel too, like with the moms that I'm trying to help, with my clients, with my friends, my mom friends, and even with my family, right? So, because I feel like motherhood is such, like I feel like everybody's expected to just kind of know it, but
Yes.
they forget that we are built for community.
Yes.
It's nice to have, but it's actually a necessity. They
Yes.
would say like back in the day that it takes a village to raise a child or something like that. I
Yes.
still feel that that still makes sense up to this day, but we're so like I don't know, like enclosed, I guess, but like
Yes.
that everybody just think that, oh, I got this, you know. And then
Mm,
before I became a mother, like I did see a lot of societal expectations that, oh, I'm a mother, but then look how good I am, and like
yes. Yes. Yes.
I don't have a nanny, or you know, I don't have my mom here like helping me all the time. So I don't like, I am literally like just a mom to like my 2-year old right now,
Mm,
that like I'm taking care of him. And I do love the community that I'm building, because I get like tips, like, you know, techniques,
love
and
it.
I research and ask my friends, my family, just to kind of gather information how I can better be a better mom to my child, right? And
Yeah.
so like I want everyone to remember that there's so much support out there, and the Pink Door Society, right? You guys are through like art and also like mental health, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do. Yeah.
Amazing. So what advice do you have for women like who are struggling with mental health and looking for ways to cope and heal?
Oh, that's such a good question. Honestly, like as someone who again has struggled with mental health like my entire life, I know sometimes almost how paralyzing it could feel, right? And how scary it could feel like alone. I think one thing that I recently have been trying to like say to myself has been to just, Amanda, give yourself the patience and grace, that you deserve. And I, echo that to anyone that's struggling. It's like you deserve patience, you deserve grace, and that's one way to overcome these, um, hardships that we face with mental health and illness. And I love to almost. I read this somewhere, I heard it somewhere, and it's something that's stuck with me now for years. How so often we want to pour into, whether it's like our kids, our jobs, our family, our friends, our significant others. Um, but when we do that, sometimes it's like our tank can become empty, right? It's like similar to almost like a glass of water or juice, right? How could you pour if there's nothing in there, right? So we have to make sure that we're taking time to again give ourselves the patience and grace that we deserve and fill up our own cups, whether
Yes.
that's going out for a walk, whether that's reconnecting with an old friend. Um, and practicing self-care. And I think also too, one thing that I also want to remind people of is a lot of times, I think sometimes, with social media and everything, sometimes self-care can be glamorized as like, go for the most expensive massage or, manicure, which is great. Like those are all great forms of self-care, but sometimes also self-care looks like, setting boundaries and saying no to plans when you really don't feel like, going out. So setting boundaries for yourself and for others. So those are a few ways that,
Yeah.
you know.
Amazing. Those are like like some of the things that you mentioned, actually what I teach in my program too. So
Oh
it's
my
like we're like
gosh. I love it.
so for those who are watching and who are interested in getting involved with the Pink Door Society, how can they do that? How can they reach you?
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's an amazing. We love the support. I always say, you know what, like, growing up to like when I was early on in my career, I was part of corporate. So I was working for this corporate company. And I remember one time someone asked, like, what's your superpower or something? And I said, compassion. Like I feel like my compassion's my superpower. Like I love people. I love people and I love helping people. And, someone actually told me once early on in my career that sorry to break it to you, sweetie, but like compassion will never make you successful in life, right? And I was like, okay, like let's like narrate that. And I said, you know what? If there is no place where I feel seen and heard and included, like let me create my own table to sit at. So I want to just with that say that everyone's included at our table, right? So whether you're interested and want to explore like marketing and want to help us with volunteering with that, we encourage that. You don't have to have any kind of like fancy background or anything to join our team and join our table because there's a seat for everybody. And we want as many voices to be heard. So Yeah, like right now we're looking for people to join and help out like with events, or even if like to help with programming. We are launching officially in September, which is going to be exciting. So we're currently just finalizing the logistics with that, but would love to see people come out and attend the event, connect with other women, participate in really these conversations like these, right? Like really empowering conversations. We recently launched our Instagram for like a couple months ago. So if you want to give us a follow on there, that would be amazing. And you can also send us an email at, I believe it's pinkdoorsocietyclub@gmail.com. Um,
And
and
I'll
we
put
would be
all
happy.
that in the group. Actually, you when we hop off, you could also like do that and then just put it because I think you are in the new moms connecting group
I
now.
am. Yes. So I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah. And Keona is actually pregnant, right? Soon to be mom. So
Yes.
we're hoping to get her in as well.
Yes, she is looking forward to joining. She can't wait to connect with other moms. And, even she just said, like, we chatted earlier this morning, actually, her and I connected just to chat all things Pink Door Society and behind the scenes. And she says, it really is a journey, right? But it's a beautiful one where you get to learn more about yourself. And yeah, big shout out to all the mamas. You guys are super women,
Absolutely,
literally super
absolutely.
women.
Well, Amanda, thank you so much for sharing your insights and the
Oh,
incredible you guys do at the Pink Door Society. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
nothing this specific, but I would just say one of again like the missions and visions that we have is to spread radical kindness. So whether that's spreading it in a radical way where it's like paying for the person's coffee behind you, or just complimenting a stranger, or even just practicing radical kindness for yourself, and then it just becomes kind of like a ripple effect. I would just encourage everyone to practice radical kindness and share the love and share the compassion.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And the next time we chat, I'm sure we'll have Kiana.
Yes, she will make her
And
grand
again,
appearance.
like if you guys have any questions, just drop it in the chat. You can I'll put in all the information that you need for the Pink Door Society. And Amanda is part of the group. So just any questions, reach out to her or you can reach out to me. And yeah, so thanks again. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Risen. Bye, everyone. Take care and have a beautiful
Bye.
rest of the Friday.
Thanks. Bye.